What is up, everybody? My name is Justin Alvarado, and welcome to the MVP podcast.
Hey guys, I'm your co-host, Myko Garcia. And before we start, guys, just gonna give a quick shout out to Box ng Bayan. Box ng Bayan is a hobby shop with an initiative to provide the cheapest prices possible for all its products and services to cater to everyone in the hobby, be it collectors, investors, or box breakers. So here's our guest, guys. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to introduce our guest for today, man. Two-time PBA champion. If I say Gilas, man, it's probably the same thing as saying his name anyway. But let me welcome Gabe Norwood. Sir.
Yes,
Oh man,
sir.
thank you guys. Appreciate you guys having me. This should be fun. So we get to talk about the
Yeah,
hobby and some hoops. So I can't
yeah,
complain. It's a good day.
yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for having us, for
Yeah,
coming on board.
yeah. So before we talk about Gilas, though, I actually wanted to bring up your NCAA career because I think a lot of people, especially Filipinos, there's a good chance they don't know about that. So you did play for George Mason, uh, 2006 Cinderella story, all the way to Final Four. Man, could you talk us through that experience? Like I know Final Four is a big thing in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's huge. I think there's 300 plus Division
Mhm.
One programs in the states.
Wow.
And for myself, George Mason's small Division One. Not a lot of teams from our conference made a lot of noise in the NCAA tournament up until that point. So that team was special. It was my junior year, my third year at George Mason. A lot of people didn't know the year before we had no seniors on our team. So it's very
Oh,
rare in college basketball to basically have the
right,
same team 2 years in a row. So our chemistry was
right.
off the charts. Like we were
I
locked
see.
in. Yeah, we had a great run. Great run.
Yeah.
Beat North Carolina, Michigan State,
Uh-huh.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Wichita State.
Yeah.
We played also, and that was as
Yeah.
they were on their rise. They're now
Right.
a premier
Yeah.
program, but eventually lost to Florida when they won back to
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
NCAA championships. So that's
Nice.
Al Horford, Joakim Noah,
Yeah.
Corey Brewer, that
Tough.
team. Billy Donovan's the
Yeah.
head coach. So
Uh,
yeah, it was a good time, awesome
for
experience, great
sure.
memories, and
Yeah.
yeah, there hasn't been much like it since then.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't know as well, especially those who are not aware of the NCAA tournament. Like, there's a lot of conferences you can come from, Pac-12 or Big Ten, you name it. But I know your school, George Mason, was the first. I think the proper term is a non-traditional team to make it all the way to the Final Four, like coming from the
Yeah,
CAA. So yeah, that
yeah,
was a big thing. Yeah, for
it was
sure.
huge. I guess it's mid-major. They call it like a mid-major
Mid-major, right?
conference,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
up until that point, probably the biggest name was, Indiana State when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson played in the final.
Mm,
But I think even with them, I think they were a higher seed than we were. We were an 11 seed. They bracketed off basically I think it's 1 to 16 on each side. Um, and yeah, man, we got hot. We got hot at the right time. We actually didn't even win. So the way the NCAA tournament is, there's automatic bids. So if you win your conference, if you win, excuse me,
right,
win your league, you're automatically in. But
right,
usually the bigger conferences get more than one team. So the SEC, if Kentucky wins their conference, a school like Florida or Mississippi State can still get in
right,
without winning. But it was
right.
very rare for our school. We got it. We
Yeah.
got it at large bid. We lost. I believe it was in the quarterfinals. We didn't even make
Okay.
semis or quarterfinals. We didn't even make the finals. But our record was so strong. I think we had
Mm,
won almost 25 games. Only had maybe four or
that's a
five
lot.
losses.
Mm,
So we got lucky.
yeah,
There was a lot of people who didn't think we deserved to get into the tournament,
yeah.
but we got to prove them wrong when we got in, and we did
Uh-huh.
that.
Man, Cinderella story indeed.
Yeah,
That's probably where it all started, where they got that Cinderella story. Yeah.
yeah,
So
no, it was a good one.
yeah. So yeah, have a lot of time playing in the States, and of course, we all know about your career here in the Philippines. Um, but could you talk us through like some of the differences playing for coaches in the States and the coaches here locally?
I think there's actually a lot of similarities. You know, the ball, you know, it's a cliche, right? The ball is round, the game is
Yep.
basketball, no matter where you're at.
Mhm.
So a lot of it's just personalities, man. I moved around a lot as a kid in college. My dad coaches college football, American football in the States. So we were picking up moving different cities, different universities. So, you know, the style of play in Maryland is different from Texas, or when I lived in Arizona is different than when I lived in
I see.
Pennsylvania. So
Yeah.
I think that actually helped me in terms of coming out here and playing for different coaches.
Mm.
My dad being a coach and just being coachable in general. But I think, you know, styles. It's almost like boxing. Styles make fights and things like that.
Right.
So I think the style of play in Texas was a little bit more rugged. You know, it's a football state traditionally. Same with Pennsylvania. But then you get to Maryland where it's like super skilled. You see in the documentary that Kevin Durant put out, it's like talent everywhere in this small space, whether it's Maryland, DC, and Virginia. But yeah, I guess I took a little bit of everywhere. I went
Made
and
it
tried.
to make it for one thing for you.
Yeah.
I see. I see. Yeah. Especially in the States, like you said, with different play styles. I think the common one is like West Coast versus the East Coast style of play. And then with you, like you said, you got to bring everything together. That's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, you know, naturally you have a lot of like the LA, New York thing. That's where people
Uh-huh.
Mm.
where the
That's
best
the
are, LA and New York. But I think a lot of people forget about the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area that just cranks out talent every year.
I see. All right. So now, of course, the Gilas. Everyone knows you're a Gilas legend, man. Like, oh my God, like they could put your face beside the Philippine flag and they already know what's up. But yeah, you played a lot of years. I think you played maybe 11, 12 years for Gilas. Starting from that vintage, I wouldn't say vintage, but that OG team, '07, if I'm not mistaken. It was like Mark Agiwa, a young Jimmy Alapag, oh my, Don Hontiveros, man.
Back squad.
Yeah. And then I believe correct me if I'm wrong though, is the last Gilas team that you played for the 2019 World Cup, or did you play another one? That was the
No,
last one.
that was the last one. I didn't play. What was that? The Sea Games or Siaba that
Yeah,
we
yeah. Probably SEA Games.
started out.
Yeah.
Didn't go out on the high note that I wanted to, but you know, it is what it is. Whatever keeps us moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which team has been your favorite from all of that?
Ooh, man.
Yeah,
11 choices, right? 11.
I know, right?
If it's hard, you can give us top 3 if it's hard.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I guess the qualifying team when we hosted here and beat Korea to go to the first World Cup in Spain.
2013.
Yeah, that was just special, man. To this day, we still have our group chat. We still talk to each other. You know, Mark Pingris was my roommate for most of that, so he's became an even closer friend. I already respected him as a basketball player, but to get to know guys on a different level, I think we took like 2 months away, almost like a month and a half with training camp. Coach Chot's huge in terms of, you know, getting us away from any distraction and locking us in. So probably between that team and then the actual team that went to the World Cup, that was a good group. You know, some different faces from the qualifiers, but overall, just good experiences.
I remember that game. I was there actually to watch it.
Don't tell me how old you were.
Oh man, high school, grade school.
I've looked very different. But what I remember about that game was in the Korea team, they had this one shooter. I forgot his name. But I just remember he was just always running around the court. Like the play was like you're just setting down screens for him. Like every time he's just running around side to side. Oh man. And then when we beat that, like it was funny because I could see like in the crowd, like there are so many like grown men just crying, just like they have accomplished this big feat. And yeah, how's that feeling for you? Like, I mean, obviously, like for you guys are the ones on the court, battling it out, grinding. But then there's other people that probably share the same passion and drive as the Philippines, to represent the Philippines.
For
How's that?
sure. I mean, it was one of those feelings, when the game ended, where you finally, it was like this weight off your shoulders. It was like a relief, but at the same time, you really understood, just for me, knowing the history of Korea and the Philippines, how often, Korea seems to be the roadblock, right? Always gotten
Yeah.
out.
Right.
And then, knowing that, and then even a couple of days before in the tournament, we had lost to Chinese Taipei. And that's when, at that time, I think there was a big rift going on between, us and Taipei. I think we had OFWs that had kind of gone through some things there in Taipei. So when we lost that game, it was like, damn, we let the whole country down. Like, we have to make this right. And we were blessed to have an opportunity to kind of lose that game but not be out. So to beat Korea, and like you said, seeing Coach Yang crying, looking up, my wife and my two sons are jumping up and down, and just a sense of accomplishment, man. It's truly special. I'm sure you guys you share the feelings, whether it's this podcast and getting it done, like that sense of accomplishment is
For sure.
It's nothing like it.
For sure. Yeah. And especially on that stage, like, wow.
Yeah.
Home court.
Home court for sure.
Right.
It's crazy.
But and you did mention that the 2014 team was also one of your favorite teams to play for, and in that 2014 team, you had this I wouldn't say two legendary moments. Argentina game. Oh my goodness! What the poster against Luis Scola, man. I think when I saw that, I watched that 10 times. Dribble, you got this two-step gather, bang, right hand, dunked it. How was that? How was that poster feeling for you posterizing an NBA?
Yeah, it was a dream situation, for just that whole tournament, that whole run. And I think if people have heard me speak on this before, but in terms of that game, there was something about the energy. And like, I don't play a lot of video games, right? But I'll play FIFA. Like, I'll sit and play FIFA all day. So just having that like kind of FIFA World Cup vibe going against Argentina and the history, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And Argentina, I promise, is the only country that I know that like parties during their national anthem, like straight.
Oh wow.
Usually it's very stoic, right? It's a very serious moment.
Right.
But they're crowds jumping, they're like hands on their shoulders, like kind of bouncing.
Yeah,
it brought this energy to the beginning of the game, and maybe it kind of backfired for them a little bit. It worked out in the end, but it backfired in the start, and Jason dropped the perfect pass. Like you said, I'm a 2-foot jumper, so 2 foot on the left side, I get the jump right to the middle of the rim. It was the dream kind of setup right there.
Right. Like, it was so good that it overshadowed your other poster as well. Yeah, you had another one with your left hand on a nice, like, you got down screen, come on top, get the ball, drive it, left hand dunk.
Fake hand off the Dre.
Uh-huh.
That's probably my favorite dunk of my career, to be honest.
Wow, really?
I don't jump off of 1 foot often, so that I jump off of 1 foot. I don't dunk with my left all that often.
Exactly.
Dunk with my left, and it should have been an and one. Like like every time I watch it, I think that's what makes me more mad than anything. Like, that should have been an and one. And I forget what the score. Like, it was a turning point type of play too.
Yeah.
Can't go back.
Yeah, man. Like, I think, like, when you said a while ago, when the Argentina, when they do their national anthem, they party. I feel like when you got that dunk in on Scola, like, you had a big party in you. I saw your reaction. I was like, woo! But yeah, you had a big party inside you for sure.
Sure, nothing like it, man. Like I said, it would have been cool if it was the Greece game and it was Giannis instead. But
oh my god. Yeah. I mean, now that we're starting to mention these NBA players, you said Giannis and Greece. I rather skinnier Giannis, if I may add, like, compared to now. Like, he was still that skinnier Giannis. You guys also went against Croatia. Boyan Bogdanovic from Utah was there. Saric
Mm,
All right.
was there. So yeah, safe to say you went up against a lot of good players. So in your Gilas stint, could you name us some of the hardest players that you had to guard? Because especially with your play style, I mean, we all know you're a lock-in defender, a nightmare for 2 guards, 3 guards. So yeah, who's probably the hardest player?
Yeah, actually, I recently wrote an article on the same topic with NBA.com Philippines. I've been writing for them here and there in spots, trying to use my journalism major. But
All right. All
and
right.
it's even trying to put that list together was tough. I tried to lock in on just wings. I was going to let Jimmy and LA and those guys, if they ever wanted to go strictly point guards.
okay.
I had some of that action too, but Nicolas Batum, played him in a tune-up game before the World Cup, and he just super. It was almost like he was pacing himself. Like I was just going all out for like 3 quarters, and by the fourth quarter, he had like this extra gear, and yeah, he got the best of me. Bogdanovich for sure. Giannis is on the list just because you saw the potential. Like
Right.
he played in spots. He had a lot of vets in front of him, but the potential was obvious. Like it was glaring. For me, one of my favorite players was Francisco Garcia. I don't know if a lot of guys know him, but
He used to be Sacramento before.
yeah, he played for the Dominican Republic, but played for SAC. Yeah, I liked him when he was in college. He went to Louisville, which is a big time basketball program in the state. So to go up against him was one of those like wow moments for me. You know what I mean? Just being the basketball fan that I am. That was cool. Who else? Man, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody that I put on my list. But
Garcia, Giannis, Boyan.
if you want to just go guards, you got JJ Barea, who I played against in college. So
Oh man.
I already knew those problems. That guy's different. Campazzo was there also. Campazzo was there.
Mm.
I think Prigioni was there. So
Prigioni.
a lot of solid players, man. That you just naturally have to up your game. You have to try to get up to their level. I won't mention the 2019 World Cup because that was ugly. I don't know if we're regarding much of anybody.
Well, yeah, you have a solid list anyway. Like man,
Yeah.
most
How
people
about,
they can only say it on 2K.
Yeah.
In real life.
You mentioned your poster. Yeah, we talked about your poster a while ago, on Scola, and that was pretty awesome. But on the flip side, do you recall any moment you as a defender, you were like just?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I mean, everyone gets crossed. I feel like at one point, or everyone gets postered maybe at one point. Like, what was that moment wherein you as a defender, you were just like, damn, like,
Like I stole the ball or I took away a shot. Like
I mean, from an international standpoint, I think a lot of it was going up against the same guys I mentioned, where like it was almost like a different level of play. Like I was like, I'll give the example for Nicolas Batum. We're playing in France in a tune-up game. Energy's crazy, and I think they totally misjudged our team. They didn't watch obviously any tape. Like I think Japeth came down and dunked on what's the guy for the Wizards? Bahimi.
Young Mahini. Young.
Yeah.
mm,
Japeth came in and dunked on him to start the game. Like it was wild. But for the first 3 quarters, like I'm not kidding. I thought I was locking Batum up. Like he had.
Okay.
I don't think he might have had like a basket or like maybe I fouled him. He had 2 free throws. But like I said, fourth quarter came and it was like, okay, winning time. Go ahead, keep chasing me. I'm gonna get you in the air. Like it was super strategic, and it was a lesson that I learned moving forward because it was just I have to play with a better pace, and I think that was one of those things where it's like, man, like Batum, like I almost wanted to ask him after the game, like, bro, did you know, like, I was just gonna get tired at some point? A different mental switch that was turned on, and I think, a lot of whether it's great players or NBA players, whatever, they can sense it and kind of flip that switch really quick.
Yeah. For sure. Like for sure, when you play 82 games, I feel like that's something
Your
really.
conditioning.
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Let's see,
But
let's see.
yeah, I don't know if I completely answered that question.
Nah, you did, you did, you
Kinda-
did, you
I-
did,
Yeah.
you did, you
yeah, I
did,
put
you
myself
did.
in my head like, did I even answer the question?
But okay,
You
like, do you
did, you
recall getting like crossed or postered?
Oh man, I'm sure I did. Like,
did.
I'm sure the funniest one is probably going back to college because it was a play that ended up not counting. We're playing North Carolina in the tournament, and
Alright.
Tyler Hansborough, I
Oh
think
my
he's,
God, Tyler.
I don't know if we're
Mm.
in a zone, so I'm like on the back side of the zone, and he's cutting to the rim,
Okay. Right.
and he gets a drop pass, and my teammate reaches in and fouls him. In college, there's no continuation in the NCAA, so usually they call it right on the floor. But naturally, he goes up like through our teammate's arms, and I come from the help side of trying to block it and just get just dunked, like just straight dunked on. But the whistle already blew. So it never
Yeah.
showed up on any like highlight.
Man.
You have to watch like the full game to catch it. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Man.
I've been probably on the bad side of a couple posters. I think Rico Meyerhofer got me in the PBA. I'm pretty sure. Rico,
Mm.
Uh, well, that's a downside of being a defender. Like you put yourself at risk.
Yeah. Well, what goes through your head when like that happens? I'm curious because like as a fan, we're all like, oh, like we're
You're
just
like,
gonna like, oh, like we just
or maybe like how do you properly like keep your composure like of course you don't want to show your opponent like damn you got me.
yeah.
yeah.
First, first thing you don't do is look at your bench. Don't look at your teammates on the
Oh,
bench.
okay,
Okay,
okay, okay.
They are
like don't
definitely
help
laughing.
me like
Or somebody's giving like one of those things like get dunked on. Do not look at your own bench because it's going to take you out. The biggest thing is just let somebody else inbound it. Try to regroup on your way back up the court and keep going at it. But yeah, definitely don't look at the bench and don't make eye contact with anybody for about a good 15 seconds.
that's good. That's good.
That
Like,
makes sense.
the bench will definitely make you
Oh,
lose your.
for sure. If they look at you then, and then it's even worse if you're like watching tape after. That's the worst. And then your coach. It's actually better. It's better to lose a game like that because then your coach might not replay it too much. But if you win and you get dunked on,
From your perspective, like, is it better to like okay wide open dunk, and you have the chance to contest? Is it better to get out of the way, or is it better to try to block it, but
or like,
you might end up in a poster?
I think I respect either decision, right? I got either decision,
Yeah.
but for me, like, you got to go up and contest something. If you're there, you know what I mean? I'm not going to expect, my son to go up and try to dunk or block me from going up on a dunk. But you got to pick your spots. But I think a lot of it comes down to mentality, man. If you want to go after it, I think a lot of bigs. You look like Alonzo Mourning is one of the best, defensive bigs ever, but he probably has been dunked on. It seems like everybody's dunked on Zoe, but it's a respect thing, man. If you don't dunk on them, I'm sure people are probably upset with their careers. So it's definitely a respect level to guys that go after them.
Right. So, man, that's a lot of good international play. All them NBA stars, man. Wow. Like, I love this, like, inside life of a basketball player, the life we were never able to reach, but we dream.
You got to vicariously through people sometimes.
Right, right. So let's switch over to the PBA. So, been part of your Shine team your whole PBA life. Two-time PBA champion. But I think what some people don't really know is that Bo Belga guys came into the PBA at the same time.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Bo Belga has been part of the Rain or Shine team all his life. I mean, since you guys were part.
Yeah, I think he was drafted, was it by Burger King at the time? I know he jumped
Okay.
around. He came over with us when Coach Yang became the head coach.
Okay.
Because yeah, Coach Kaloy was the head coach my first 2 years,
Yeah.
and then Yang took over.
Okay. So do you guys have like, how do I say? I'm sure you guys like have this like, really solid relationship as teammates, especially since that you know, you came from the States, just got off the Final Four from George Mason, and then you're gonna play for the Philippine team, and then you play for the PBA, and I mean, I'm sure it was nice to have like that one person to share the whole experience with, get your familiarity going. So, can you talk us through your relationship with Bo Belga?
Yeah, I mean, we actually we were opponents at first. I did my year
Oh,
in the PBL, so I played for Happy Toothpaste in the PBL, and Bo alongside with probably one of the most unfair rosters in basketball, Philippine basketball history, were with Harbor Center. So it was. Listen to this little sidebar here.
Mm-hmm.
Harbor had Bo, Jeff Chan, Saul Mercado, Jason Castro, Ty, Dylan Ababu, Edwin Asoro. Who else there?
man, that's guard heavy.
That's deep.
Just
We
from
had,
the
like,
guards
like,
alone.
I'm gonna name some names like Alvarado, Boyet Bautista. Like they had,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. But that's another thing. But so yeah,
Yeah.
me and Bo started off as opponents, man, and
Okay.
all this stuff that you see him do to other teams, he was doing to me. So that's how our
Okay.
relationship started. That same year, we teamed up together. I believe it was the Sea Games in Thailand. They sent the PBL team basically, but they added myself onto the Harbor squad, and that's where we really became, friends. Outside of opponents. Fast forward our rookie years, we're on separate teams, and Coach Yang comes over. So to kind of know Bo's mindset from an opponent standpoint, I think helped me really understand him even more as a teammate. Basketball IQ's through the roof, just super, super smart player. As much as, his emotions can get the best of him at times. If you really just watch a game, he's extremely smart. He knows every position on the court. And I like to think that I'm the same way. Like if you guys came and watched practice, Bo plays the wing in practice.
Oh wow.
But he'll play the point as a point, not a point forward. He will play the point and direct things. So I think we share a mutual respect because of our kind of understanding of the game, especially now that we're older and leaders on the team. He's more of the vocal guy. I'm more of the lead by action type of guy. So we balance each other pretty well right now on our team.
That's pretty cool though. I can imagine Bo Belga just bring up the ball, point guard. That's, it's great.
He knows it, and he runs the show.
Yeah, yeah. You guys were teammates, yeah. When you won your PBA championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's a great way to solidify that relationship as well.
For sure.
Yeah. I see. Okay. All right. So before we wrap up this first half of our segment, could you name us your favorite game moment? Yeah, we were saying long list of career right now. So we got to pick that maybe that special in-game moment. Yeah.
And so I'll go away from the ones we've already discussed. So
Right.
okay, that would probably have to be ranked in its own little segment. But outside of the World Cups and Final Fours and championships, probably be my senior year of high school, winning a state championship in the state of Pennsylvania. Had my brother as my teammate, which was awesome. It was, we're a year apart, but we hadn't really been on the same squad for a long time, actually just high school and things like that. So to share that moment with him, to win it in the same arena that Kobe won his state championship in, you know what I mean? It's pretty cool experience. And, I think actually I think Danny Siegel won in that arena also. He graduated high school in Pennsylvania. So it's a pretty cool kind of resume kind of filler to have.
Man, for sure. There's that there's that personal aspect of it because you
Yeah,
want a brother that makes it different from a PBA championship, from a Final Four.
for sure, for sure.
What
No
about
doubt.
like I would say as a fan, like we attribute players with their certain like quote unquote moment. Like um if you go NBA, let's say Ray Allen's game 6, 3, like
Mhm.
that's his moment.
So,
Kyrie's game 7 shot, that's his moment. Like what would you consider like your moment?
Man, my moment internationally, that's funny. Like I had never thought about this. I think I was asked it just recently, but my moment for me was really that World Cup qualifier here that we hosted and we played Qatar. And I believe it was Jarvis Hayes was Qatar's naturalized player. And I had a great defensive game, and he went out of his way to talk about me in the press conference afterwards. Like he basically short, I think he put into words like basically he hasn't had somebody defend him like that since he was in the league. So for that was one of those moments that kind of not even pumped up my chest, but more so made me realize that the work that I'm putting in, the way that I approach a game is being recognized by somebody who, he was playing for the Wizards when I was in college, and that was the close. Like I went and watched him play. You know what I mean? So that was the moment, kind of for me personally. Like, okay, this is my role here, and what I'm doing is getting it done the right way.
and not just getting done the right way, like you're getting that assurance that you're above average with what you're doing, like
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
even every day. Like, okay, man.
That was it for sure.
All right, perfect, perfect moment right there. Okay, so before we head over to our second segment, guys, of course, we're gonna talk about them cards, but yeah, before we get there, guys, a quick shout out again to Box and Dine. You can check them out on Facebook for the best deals for your card boxes.
Okay. So let's head over to our sports card segment. Um,
Good stuff.
yeah, I mean it's we find it really cool when certain celebrities, athletes, influencers, like when they dedicate even their own Instagram account for
Yeah.
for cards. So it kind of tells us that, oh, like they're really in deep. They're not just like joining a few breaks or just buying a few cards every now and then. Like they're really in the hobby. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're just curious. Where did it all start, and how did you get started in sports cards?
Yeah, for me, it started when I was a kid, to be honest. It was one of those things where, you get a little allowance money or your birthday comes around and you just walk to the local card shop. We had a shop. I remember had to be living in Maryland at the time. And, there was a card shop that me and my brother, we'd walk to. We walked to like a gas station, to buy like a Gatorade or something like that. And then the card shop was nearby. So if we had a little spare change, or it's crazy that you could buy with spare change before,
I
but
know.
but
Right now, it doesn't match. It
I
doesn't
know,
match
right?
in today's. Like,
All
you
right.
can get no spare change.
Gotta break the
Yeah,
bank.
Not unless you're gonna buy like Houston or in a PYT. Like,
but yeah, so we would just go to the shop, buy a couple packs of cards and like open them as we're walking back home, and that was like our conversation starters, and just trading with my brother and things like that, or bringing them to school. But definitely that was probably perfect timing because that was like 95, 96. So like the peak for me was really the 96 class. So, I was lucky my brother went to my parents' storage unit and found all my old cards. So, it's basically Iverson, Kobe, Ray
Right.
Allen, that batch
Great
that really
class.
got it started for me. And probably was really locked in on it for about 3 or 4 years when I was younger. Um, I think stopped at like around Baron Davis and like Steve Francis that time, Elton Brand. But I think like a lot of people kind of fell out of touch with it. I just got caught up in growing up a little bit and getting into your own stuff.
Right.
But naturally, the pandemic, I think, you know, just allotted a lot more mental space and free time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And realized it was still a thing. Like I was hyped. Like I remember coming across, can't remember who posted or I saw something online. I was like, man, I think I have that card. I think that, you know what I mean? And get your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's just been fun. It's been a fun, you know, granted everything else that's been going on in the world, it's been fun to really jump back into the hobby. The community's awesome. Like I think that's really what really tied me in was the community, man. It's a good space, real a lot of positivity for the most part.
Right. Okay. You touched upon going through your old storage.
Yeah.
Do you recall like any hidden gems, or when you saw like it was in your old storage and you were like, oh wow, like this costs a lot, or like was there any like memory attached when you were able to dig up your old storage?
Yeah, probably the biggest because like naturally we had like a lot of base level stuff, Iverson, Kobe, like the names that I said, but I forgot that I had pulled. I think I pulled it. It wasn't my brother, but I vividly remember ripping and getting a Penny Hardaway UD3. Like, remember the season ticket? I think it was was that 97? I want to say it was 97, 98. The UD3, like, season ticket. It looks like Contenders, basically, now. It
Right.
was the season ticket on card auto, like, hollow.
Ooh.
But we had it, like, we found the binder, like, all our old binders. And then, we had a stack of, they weren't even top loaders. It was, like, the screw down
Screw down.
Old
cases.
school.
Yeah, the old school, golly. Like the screws were super rusted, but then like everything else was clean. But yeah, that was the biggest, like kind of, I think it was maybe a couple $1,000s at the most, but just to think like you're a kid.
Yeah.
I remember going to look at Beckett, and Beckett probably had it like maybe $40 and $50, but that was probably one of the cool, like most unique cards because I haven't seen a lot of the UD3.
Yeah.
I think it was UD3 season ticket. I think that's what it was called.
Mm. Do you what was the condition? Do you
I
like
mean,
is it still
I
pretty
wasn't able
good?
to say it get graded. I don't know what one of my brothers. I'm the oldest of five, so the youngest I think took control of that one and probably ended up selling it. But yeah, we weren't able to get it graded or anything. But it looked like, honestly, I
Looked good?
remember when I saw the card, I was like, it brought me right back to ripping it. I remember opening it in the store, like me and my brother in the store, and opened it, and I think we got the case right then and there, so it never left the case.
Ooh, so it's still pretty good condition.
Pristine.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Pristine.
Nice. Because like talking to a lot of people who maybe started young and then got back in the hobby and then digging up old binders and stuff. Usually the condition's pretty bad since no one really took care of them, back then as much as they do today.
Yeah,
But
we
it's
definitely
cool.
had a couple of binders filled with like the whole like back to back sleeve, like pockets, like back to back cards that are stuck together now. There were some hurtful moments during those going through those.
Sure.
Okay, so your Instagram handle is G5 Cards,
Yes.
and it says here your PC is Iverson, Ja, Booker, and Maxi. So why those guys?
Man, I mean, Iverson for me, outside of Kobe was just a culture mover, man. I think that brings me back to my own memories, growing up in that area when he was at Georgetown. Like, I went and watched Iverson crazy. I watched him play in the high school state championship. I was maybe 9 or 10 years old at the University of Virginia. Like, I remember it clear as day. So he's one of my earliest really basketball heroes that I got to see with my own eyes. So, Iverson was a no-brainer for me. I think Ja is in that mold in terms of just the perfect fit for a city. I think
I
if
see.
Ja
Mm.
Yeah,
was
I agree.
anywhere else, there might be an added amount of pressure for him or, too much leeway. I think Memphis is like, if anybody's been to Memphis, you know what I'm talking about. Like he fits that city perfectly. Book is he's just different, man. Like I got to watch him a couple of years ago in the Garden. They played the Knicks,
Mm.
and he just makes basketball look easy. Like nothing's too forced. Just a big fan of how he plays. Then Tyrese Maxey for me, I think he's like SGA. Um, just in terms of role, you know what I mean? Like Doc doesn't play a lot of rookies. SGA was with Doc when he first started. Maxey's there now, so I just see a lot of parallels. And for me, I always approach things more of a as a collector. Like I have trouble giving stuff up anyway, so I say those four names, but I'm sitting here and I have a bunch of Cam Reddish and Romeo Langford at the same time, so it sounds good.
Okay.
Tuxedo.
Follow up to that.
Yeah.
Quick little game. Start bench cut.
Ooh.
Iverson, Ja, and D Book.
Oh.
Ooh, that's dope, man. You put him on the spot with that? Sheesh.
Well, okay, for me, the start is easy for me. The start.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Iverson,
taking
right?
Iverson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iverson has to start.
Okay, I would be mad at you if you say it's easy.
Yeah.
You didn't say AI. Like
The start is easy.
yeah.
The bench, you're gonna have to pick.
Dang, man. I don't even say it out loud because Ja's my main. Like
Yeah.
strictly basketball. If it's basketball, I gotta put Book on the bench and cut Ja. But if it's I'm collecting, I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to Ja because I think
Hmm.
years from now, if CP3 is not in Phoenix, we'll see how long they can keep that rolling there in Phoenix.
Right. What about you, Myko?
That hurt to say.
That's tough.
I'm gonna follow the same though. Yeah. Start AI, bench Book, cut Ja. Probably the same.
For me, I mean, okay, I'll go the different route. I'll put Ja in, and my reason is because
Ja for
like
Book.
yeah, Jobber book. Just for the nature of like giving a different answer right now.
No,
And
but like to your point, like let's say fast forward, when their career's all said and done, he
right.
could be better than Book. He
Good,
could.
good.
He could.
Yeah, I mean, still pretty young.
Yeah.
But just like the highlight plays, man. It's just like I love just seeing people up in the air doing all of that.
Yeah.
And for me, like his floater game is just oh my god, like his floater game, unstoppable. Not right now, but it will be. I feel like once he gets his jumper in,
Yeah, I agree. There's more room for him to grow.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He could play like CP now because CP's mid range game is like his mid range shots are like a layup. They're
Yeah,
like a for him right now. If Ja keeps on playing his teardrop game well, man, it could be similar to that. Be a good floor general with a score anytime.
got to keep adding pieces for him. He should be okay.
Uh,
For sure. Best grail that you currently own.
That I currently own, man, I got a lot of. I haven't gone too high end with stuff yet.
Or
I
even just favorite
accumulating.
grail.
My favorite card by far is level 3 Ja. I love the Court Kings
Ooh.
product.
right.
Probably the kind of art appeal to it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, the level 3 Ja is definitely my favorite card.
That's the white one, right? With like black design.
Black and white with like the
Good one,
cartoon.
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hmm.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, I have here a nice Iverson card that I really love when I picked it up. Actually got an Iverson Star Date. I
Ooh,
don't know if
nice.
it's yeah.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
I
So
I just love the design of Star Date.
yeah,
Crazy.
I don't
It's like
know.
that Mosaic Genesis kind of.
right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because looking at Kobe, I mean, damn, Kobe's star date is insane.
But like I don't even mind that. That all right, it makes sense kind of, but AI shouldn't be that far behind.
Right. That's why I picked it up. When I saw the price difference, I was thinking, I mean,
Yeah,
I
just
feel
follow
like
the
it should be
lead.
closer.
Follow the lead sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see certain inserts pop up of Kobe that I was like, okay, let me just go see what the Iversons go on for.
Yeah. Because I mean, they're great in their own way,
Yeah,
So I feel like they're not going to have equal like value in terms of cards, but I feel like the gap should be a little bit closer than
yeah,
what it is today. So yeah,
yeah,
and I love the card. It's just Star Date's beautiful.
yeah. It's a great card. I like the new additions too. The Game Boy looking. I have the Iverson. That's probably my second favorite. The Skybox new edition. The green. Dang, do I have it? Oh, it's in the other room. No, looks like it's on like a Game Boy. The die cut. It's pretty nice.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, I'll send it to you guys later.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah,
Actually,
we'll put it in the
might be on
video.
might be on my Instagram page. The one I have isn't in the greatest of condition. It's raw. It's not graded, but
Yeah. For display purposes though, that's gonna be a great for sure. Yeah.
Iverson die cut.
yeah, I think it should be. It's like a green, like looks like a green Game Boy. Type of vibe.
Is it this one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Little
Okay, I
circle
see.
like right up near his face. It looks like he has like a weird face thing going on, but
Right.
overall, it's a pretty decent shape.
This is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Found that locally too. It was kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't even ventured out to eBay yet. Like everything.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah.
Everything local. I've had enough headaches and kind of horror stories with eBay even before I had cards. So I try to keep it local for the most part.
Right. All
Can I
right.
ask, do you have like a special corner in your house where you just have like a display for your cards? Like a shrine?
Trying to keep up some space.
Yeah.
We brought some different changes, turned the extra room into the classroom for the kids. So
Oh, I see.
but also
Yes.
they collect also. So that's actually I didn't mention that. The reason why I even got back into it was to share it with my sons, my oldest two sons.
That's
That's
cool.
nice. That's nice. Yeah.
And that was a fun way to start this last year. I let them each pick a rookie to kind of lock in on other outside of Ja and Zion, who are the obvious
Yeah.
one year before. So I think my eldest son picked Tyler Hero.
Ooh.
My middle son took Cam Johnson. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
interesting
big.
pick, but
Yeah.
now my 3-year-old likes cards, but yeah, he gets
Wow. That's
Start him
cool.
young.
Start him young.
Start him
Yeah.
young. Start him young.
their little folders, their little binders, so they have fun.
Yeah. I see. I see. That's nice. How does your son feel about Tyler Hero's his previous season? Because rookie year, yeah. I personally I was big on Tyler Hero, and previous season he didn't really show out as we expected him to be.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
that sophomore slump was real.
Uh-huh.
My oldest Cash, he's gonna be supportive no matter what. He's got a lot
All
of
right.
my personality, super positive, super
All right.
the glasses half full type of guy. So he's still going after it. It's funny because they'll just sit there and trade cards like their cards are gonna change or something like they haven't had their cards in a while. Sit there every weekend and trade like something new came up. So yeah, it's interesting to see. My middle son takes more chances. He's the riskier one. Like he's always liked the all-brand players. I think Bismack Bianco was his favorite player for like 2 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exotic.
And
No,
that's
that's fake.
that's a first.
Yeah,
I don't know anyone who collects Bismuth Nyong'o.
yeah, me either. I'm happy he didn't like him when he started collecting because that might have been down the drain. But yeah, it's interesting personalities.
All right, we're actually down to our last question. Um, just a super hypothetical question that me and Mike just thought of like a few
Yeah.
hours ago. Uh, if one day, for some reason, someone actually made PBA cards, do you see that clicking?
I would hope so, man. There was PBA cards when I first got out here. I want to say my rookie year and my second year. I can't remember who made it, where the product was from, but they were cool. I actually, since I've gotten back in the hobby, I've had people send me pictures of them having my card, or
Oh wow!
cards I autographed before. Talking to guys like Jimmy Alapag and JJ Heltebrand. I think they're a little bit more popular when they first came in the league, so they
Mhm.
still have their cards. So I hope that there's more opportunities for people to get into the hobby and feel more connected through the PBA.
Right.
I think that'd be awesome. I
Right.
actually have a little thing in the works with Titan
Ooh.
Hobby, Ito, a little project going on. So make sure to check out G5 Cards, and if you follow Titan Hobbies, not Titan the shoe store, but Titan Hobbies. Make sure to check them out. I'm sure there'll be updates here probably in the next couple of days. I think he actually might have posted something on Titan Hobbies Facebook as well. I'll send it over to you guys later. But
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully it starts to get the ball rolling a little bit.
Right, right.
Okay,
Exciting,
okay.
exciting times, exciting times. Check
Yeah.
out G5 cards every day for that.
All right, got a
Definitely,
little
definitely check
sneak
it out.
peek.
Yeah.
Special on MVP. Special sneak.
All right,
Nah,
well,
but and Titan Hobbies, awesome guy. OG in the hobby out here too. So he looked out for me when I first jumped in. So only right to pay it forward.
mm, right. Right. So yeah, that about does it for our questions. It was a great podcast. Like we had a lot of fun. Um, before we wrap it up, do you have anything else you'd like to plug in and promote besides Titan Hobbies?
Oh man, no, just thank you guys for having me on. I've been following from a distance. Got you guys followed on Instagram and love what you guys are doing. The education and everything. Like I'm learning from you guys just as much as I've been able to share and hopefully help you guys out. And if you get hungry, Norwood Aloha Eats is on Grab.
Ooh. All right.
Some
All right.
Hawaiian inspired dishes. If you guys
Mm.
want to check that out, my Filipino
Well,
side migrated to Hawaii, so me and my wife got married there, so we have some ties, and yeah, I guess that's about it. G5 Cars, Norwood Aloha Eats, and MVP, man. That's what it is.
man, oh, I did not know about that Nord Alois. I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
For our next meeting, we should.
Next
That should be our
meeting.
lunch.
What happened?
Yeah. All right. All right. So before we wrap it up, guys, just once again, this episode was brought to you by Boxing Bayan. Cheapest prices guaranteed. Check them out on Facebook, guys. Boxing Bayan.
And shout out of the day as well goes to Jacob Agregado. Thank you for tuning into the MVP podcast. Thank you for always trying to check out the episodes. And yeah, it's cool. Short story. I was actually selling cards on a fire sale, and then Jacob messaged me. He bought some cards, and then he messaged. He's a big fan of the podcast, so it's pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to Jacob Agregado. I'll tag you on some fire sales pretty soon as well. But thank you for tuning in to the MVP podcast as well.
Good stuff.
All right. So there you have it, guys. Man, what a great episode. Like I said earlier, Gabe Norwood here was able to make us, live the baller dream that not everyone gets to reach. Played for the country, played against NBA players, won championships with his family. Cinderella story, man, you name it, the baller dream. And of course, sports cards, AI, jaw, book. Don't forget to check out G5 cards, guys, for all the good stuff. And again, of course, Norwood Aloha Eats on Grab.
Yes, sir.
There we go. There you have it, guys. I'm your co-host, Myko Garcia.
And I'm your host, Justin Alvarado, and that has been the MVP podcast. And don't forget, do it different.
Thank you so much for watching. If you dig that video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. And last but not least, don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any video.